This is Jordan Tower with JT News. If you're like me, you like to hear the stories of classic songs and classic moments back in the days. And that's just what happened this weekend. Over Twitter, Just Blaze answered fans' questions that they were curious about. It started off with somebody saying, "Hey, Just Blaze, did you ever hear the J verse on Oh Boy before it got erased?" Just Blaze responded, "I was there when he did it, and it didn't get erased." As we all know, Cameron claimed it got erased because obviously Cameron wasn't feeling it. So he just said it got erased because, come on, everybody wanted a verse from Jay at that time. But Cameron just kept it real and said, "Yeah, I ain't feeling this," and just erased the verse. I mean, there was always some tension with Cameron and Jay, period, around that time, especially being on the same label. That was an interesting thing to find out that actually didn't get erased. Cameron just didn't like it. Then someone said, "Just Blaze, I know Aailyah was down with you guys in rock. Got a favorite moment with her? Or not really, like y'all don't cross paths?" Blaze responded, "When she passed, she was on a flight to come meet me in Freeway in Miami to do More Than a Woman remix." And sad face. Wow, I mean, that was never even revealed, so that was some new information. That was pretty interesting. Another fan asked, "Just Blaze, how'd you feel about the Jay-Z verse on the Dynasty intro?" Just Blaze responded, "I was doing backflips down 26th Street in the Chewbacca suit. I knew I was about to be on." That shit was fire, and that is the introduction to Just Blaze in the Just Blaze run. That was amazing. Just Blaze is a really good producer and produced classics. Then another fan asked, "Just Blaze, what was Jay's reaction the first time he heard the beat to Public Announcement?" "He didn't think we needed it. Me and Lenny were like, what?" That was interesting. Another fan asked, "Did you really want to fight Dame?" Just Blaze said, "At one point, yes, the VMA after party. We're all grown now, though." That doesn't surprise me because it seems like a lot of people wanted to fight Dame at one point or another because he was such a jerk to everybody. I remember I was around Dame once and he was kind of a jerk to me. He brushed me off. This was like during the Rockefeller days. I was just getting into the game. I was in high school. But yeah, so I think that's just an effect that Dame Dash has on people. Can't fault anybody for feeling like that. Then another fan asked, "Just Blaze, we need a What We Do, Who or Church for Thug story." Just Blaze responded, "What We Do was the only time Jay came to a Freeway session. He heard that and he was like, 'Mic, please.' What We Do, it was fire. I still play that song to this day. The energy on it is amazing. Jay-Z went in, Freeway. That was one of Freeway's best songs, period." Then Just Blaze also added, "Also during the session, one SP member was off some wet. Tried to destroy the SSL because he was mad Lear loved the album." Then someone asked, "Just Blaze, any good I really mean it stories?" This was like part of the Dipset era. And then he responded, "Joel's liked it first. Then Cam came in the room the next day and was like, 'Nope.' I mean, but obviously he came around and they did it. And it was a classic, obviously, we all know to this day." Then someone asked Just Blaze, "Any story on Show You How? I remember Cam had the verse done on Diplomat's Volume 2 mixtape, but it turned into a BP2 track." Just Blaze responded, "The whole beat, except for the hi-hats, is made from me scratching records." That just shows you this guy is one of the best producers in the game. Then someone requested a Hovey Baby story, and Just Blaze responded, "I made it 4 times before I got it right. But when Jay heard the horns, he was like, 'That's it.' He had the rhymes first." Another fan asked Just Blaze, "You produce It's Time I See You at the height of Bean's Kiss beef. Any awkwardness there?" Just Blaze responded, "That was awkward city. I walked into the session like, what?" Because there was a lot of tension between The Rock and V-Block around that time. Then someone wrote, "Fam, Just Blaze got me glued to the timeline with these stories. Keep 'em coming, yo. Need a story about Saigon Swizz Hove. Come on, baby. Just Blaze responded, no one could tell me and Swizz voices apart on that record. I'm actually doing the hook more than he is. Funny. Then someone wrote, Just Blaze, any story behind Touch the Sky? He responded, I made it in 20 minutes before Ye got to baseline, and I was trying to borrow his LV scarf when he got there. 20 minutes for such a classic song? Wow. That's something I didn't know. I thought that song would have taken like days to produce. That just shows that producing is like breathing to him. Then someone said, Just Blaze, if people are making requests, welcome to New York City story. Just Blaze wrote, Cam and Jay laughed me out of the booth when I was singing the hook. Little did they know, it became a classic song as the first song that Cam and Jay did when he went to the Rock. Then another person asked, classic bonus question. What do you owe Cam for? The placement? Just Blaze responded, still trying to figure that out. Just Blaze, any soon you'll understand stories? He wrote back, Alchemist did it better. Just Blaze, beat story on the Rock, just fire or come home with me overall. Just Blaze responded, Dame tried to take Bleak off Just Fire. First time I ever stood up to him and said no. Just Blaze responded, he tried his asshole routine with me. I swallowed my pride and let him crack jokes. Bleak still on the record when it came out, though. Then he added that Dame actually wanted Bleak to be like an LL Cool J, but then Just Blaze said he played Who Shot Ya, and everyone just went silent. Then someone said Bread and Butter by Beans. Just Blaze said, came up with that idea thanks to Ken Sport Breakbeat Remix. Then he said, last thing before I go, there is a Beans MOP song from back then called Air It Out. I wonder if it holds up. Good night, guys. Damn, what a way to end it, man. I love hearing classic hip-hop stories like this, giving us an insight into our favorite records from the past. Because we didn't have Twitter and all these things nowadays to show us the behind the scenes. Like, the most we got was like a DVD back in the days, or like an MTV behind the music, and we all tuned in for that kind of stuff when we were kids. But like, it's good to hear a deeper side of the music nowadays, you know, from back then. I love hearing, we all love a good story. I hope Just Blaze does more of these. I hope more artists do more of these from back then. I mean, these are really interesting stories. I'd love to hear about Fabulous stories from when he got on, and more Clue stories from back then, and the mixtape game stories. I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, just Cameron and Dipset alone is crazy. This is Jordan Tower with JT News, reporting as much news as possible daily.